From Farmers Branch City Hall, hello everyone and welcome to Council Countdown, where if you give us just a few minutes, we're going to bring you a rundown of everything you need to know for the next City Council meeting agenda. I'm Tom Bryson with this Council Countdown for the upcoming City Council meeting of Tuesday, September 20th, 2016. First up, after ceremonial items and a report on study session, members of the Council will consider items placed on the consent portion of the agenda. Consent items are items to be considered with action taken that may not need individual explanation or discussion during the meeting. There are 7 items on the September 20th consent agenda. Agenda item G1 is to consider approval of the minutes of the special called City Council meeting held on August 29th and the regular City Council meeting of September 6th. Item G2 is to consider excusing the absence of Deputy Mayor Pro Tem Ana Reyes from the September 6, 2016 City Council meeting. As a matter of practice, the City Council has excused the absence of a council member when they have a pre-noticed excusable absence. By excusing an absence, the council member is not penalized with using one of 3 unexcused absences allowed under the city charter. As such, council may wish to consider excusing the absence of Deputy Mayor Pro Tem Ana Reyes from the September 6th City Council meeting. Item G3 is to consider adopting ordinance number 3391, approving the 2016 tax roll certified by the Dallas Central Appraisal District. The certified tax roll sets forth the taxable value after qualified exemptions for residential and commercial real property and business personal property in the city of Farmers Branch at $4.8 billion. This amount includes new construction but excludes property still under protest and represents a $313 million increase in taxable value from the July 2015 certified tax roll. For the 2016-17 fiscal year, each 1 cent on the tax rate equates to approximately $485,280, assuming 100% collection and excluding values under protest. Total taxable property values increased 6.9%. Residential property increased 9.57%, excluding new construction. Commercial real property increased 8.2%, and business personal property increased 1.51%. This ordinance supports the city's guiding principle for financial stewardship. City administration recommends approving ordinance number 3391. Item G4 is to consider a request for final plat approval of Commercial Equipment Addition, Lot 1, Block A. FKS Incorporated is doing business as Commercial Equipment Company, and they are the owners of a 2-acre tract of land at 3421 Towerwood Drive. The property is a proposed replat of a larger tract on the north side of Towerwood between Webb Chapel and Enterprise Drive, known as Block 1, Brookhaven Business Park Phase 1 Edition, originally platted in 1972. Subsequent to the original platting, the property was parceled out and sold by meets and bounds descriptions. The original structure on the land was raised and is now ready for redevelopment. The owners desire to replat the property as Commercial Equipment Addition Lot 1 Block A, a light industrial development for commercial laundry equipment distribution. A site plan is not required under the current light industrial zoning, but a proposed plat is required to establish a platted lot and to dedicate fire lanes. The proposed final plat of Commercial Equipment Addition Lot 1 Block A was approved by the Planning and Zoning Commission on August 8th and is consistent with Texas Local Government Code and the city's platting requirements, and also consistent with the city's guiding principles to provide strong, thriving commercial and residential neighborhoods through planning, land use development, code enforcement, revitalization activities, and programs. The Planning and Zoning Commission recommends approving the final plat. Item G5 is to consider adopting ordinance number 3396, amending the City of Farmers Branch Code of Ordinances, Chapter 82, Traffic and Vehicles, Article 2, Division 6, Section 82-95, establishing a no parking zone in the 2200 block of Delegate Drive. City administration has received a complaint regarding parking issues along the 2200 block of Delegate, which runs east of Diplomat Drive to its cul-de-sac end. It has been reported that trucks are parking and maintaining their equipment on city streets and creating parking congestion along this section of the road. Valwood Service Center Partnership owns the property at 13988 Diplomat Drive and have requested that on-street parking be prohibited along the entire section of Delegate Drive from Diplomat east to the end of the cul-de-sac. The parking prohibition will improve site visibility entering and exiting their business onto Delegate Drive. This prohibition would also prevent the nuisances of commercial vehicles from maintaining their equipment on public city streets. City administration finds it in the public's interest and safety to install no parking signs along this entire section of Delegate Drive. City administration recommends approving ordinance number 3396. Item G6 is to consider approving Resolution number 2016-084, authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with Harris Corporation for terminal maintenance of all Harris portable and mobile radios for the city of Farmers Branch. The city has purchased a quantity of Harris portable and mobile radios or terminals for use in the Harris P25 800 MHz MetroQuest Quad Cities Public Safety Radio System. The maintenance coverage for the terminals is separate from the main radio system infrastructure and will be a recurring annual cost. It is recommended that the local Harris radio shop be responsible for the terminal maintenance. City administration has negotiated a 5-year agreement with Harris Corporation to provide for the radio and annual hardware and software maintenance of the mobile and portable radios owned by the city and used by the police, fire, and other departments. The proposed terminal maintenance agreement is for a period of 1 year at an initial cost of $16,319. The agreement provides for 4 additional annual renewals with increasing rates adjusting for the expiration of the manufacturer's warranty and age of the equipment. The total cost of the agreement over a 5-year period is approximately $129,029 as found in Addendum 1 of the agreement. City administration recommends approving Resolution number 2016-084. Item G7 is to consider approving Resolution number 2016-086, adopting the John F. Burke Nature Preserve Master Plan. The John F. Burke Nature Preserve consists of 104 acres of land adjacent to the Elm Fork of the Trinity River, immediately north of Valley View Lane on the west side of Farmers Branch. The Nature Preserve is a 3-way partnership made possible through leases between the city and the North Texas Tollway Authority, that is, and between the city and the Valwood Improvement Authority. As part of the city's strategic plan, development of the Burke Nature Preserve Master Plan was begun in the fall of 2015. Dunaway Associates was retained on March 3rd to lead the project and complete the master plan. The intent of the plan is to create a guide that will be used for future development of the preserve that will have minimal impact on the environment and increase learning opportunities and enhance the natural beauty of the site. Dunaway and the Master Plan Committee met on numerous occasions to discuss a vision for the project, the planning process, and program list, and to tour the preserve. The committee toured 4 sites on a benchmark trip to see other area preserves and to consider design elements. The public meeting was held to gather input from residents. Dunaway then prepared a draft for the committee to review. The draft was amended based on the committee's recommendations. The draft of the proposed master plan was then presented to and approved by the Parks and Recreation Board with unanimous recommendation to present it to the City Council for adoption. The plan was reviewed by the City Council at the August 16th study session and is now ready for adoption. The adopted John F. Burke Nature Preserve Master Plan will be the guide for future development, increasing the probability of receiving grant funding to assist with some of those development costs. City administration recommends approving Resolution number 2016-086. And that was it for the consent agenda. Here are the other regular session items before the council in their regular session at this upcoming regular meeting. Agenda item H1 is to conduct a public hearing and consider adopting ordinance number 3390, amending Plan Development District 88 by rezoning an approximate 8.795 acre site from Commerce Subdistrict to Mid-Density Subdistrict and establishing a conceptual site plan for a new multi-family residential community. Agenda item H2 is to conduct a public hearing and consider adopting ordinance number 3377, amending Plan Development District 90 for Track 3 and adopting a conceptual site plan for the property located at 4100 and 4141 Blue Lake Circle and 4020, 4040, and 4100 McEwen Drive. This is a continued public hearing from the September 6th City Council meeting. Agenda item I1 is to consider approving resolution number 2016-058 for a detailed site plan for a mixed-use development located at 4100 and 4141 Blue Lake Circle and 4020, 4040, and 4100 McEwen Drive. Item I2 is to consider approving ordinance number 3393, amending the city's operating and capital improvement program budget for the 2015-16 fiscal year. Agenda item I3 is to consider approving resolution number 2016-089, authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement with the city of Louisville regarding future payment for the construction of Huffines Road as part of the special use zoning application for the expansion of Camelot Landfill. Agenda item I4 is to consider adopting ordinance number 3392, amending the Farmers Branch Code of Ordinances Appendix A fee schedule relative to fees established pursuant to Chapter 50, Parks and Recreation, Section 50-41, Parks and Recreation User Fees, and Chapter 86 Utilities, Article 4, Service Rates and Billing Procedures, Section 86-276, Water Service Rates, and Section 86-277, Sewer Rates. Agenda item I-5 is to consider adopting ordinance number 3394, approving and adopting the Operating and Capital Improvement Program budget and strategic plan for the 2016-17 fiscal year. Item I-6 is to consider approving resolution number 2016-083, ratifying the property tax revenue increase reflected in the 2016-17 fiscal year budget. And agenda item I-7 is to consider adopting ordinance number 3395 to levy and adopt the tax rate for fiscal year 2016-17. The council may also recess into closed session, but will then reconvene into regular session to take any necessary action. And that will do it for the September 20th agenda. Every regular meeting of the Farmers Branch City Council can be seen live here on FBTV. That is Time Warner Cable Channel 16 in Farmers Branch, AT&T Uverse Channel 99 throughout the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, or online at www.farmersbranchtx.gov. This City Council information program will be made available simultaneous to agenda posting on the Friday before each regular City Council meeting and will air prior to the live meeting, as well as before all council meeting replays here on FBTV. That replay schedule is at 6 p.m., 7 days a week. In the meantime, the September 20th meeting of the City Council starts at 6 p.m. Tuesday evening here at Farmers Branch City Hall. We hope to see you here. Until then, for everyone here in the studio, I'm Tom Bryson. You are watching Council Countdown on FBTV. We will see you next time.